Yeah, I thought Harvey Weinstein was the only one screwing people in the industry. Hello and welcome to Cassette Take, where you can eject wherever you want, but please don't forget to rewind. I'm Ethan.
I'm Annmarie.
And Annmarie. What is going on?
Honestly, I don't really understand this.
Okay, so the Academy Awards were announced last week. Like the nominations were.
It's the 97th run.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, that was 7th.
And so they've had 97
Years to get this right, and they still haven't.
to figure out their darn silly shenanigans down system. And wow, it seems like there's a lot of work to do.
There's still work to do. A lot of, first off, let's say a lot of misses, a lot of train wrecks, but some good stuff too. We gotta say, some
Okay.
good stuff too.
Okay, so if you don't get by now, yes, this is what we're going into. Our delayed reaction to the Oscar nominations. And my gosh, we're not going to go beat for beat, like list them all, like, oh, which one's going to win, which one's going to lose, like who's our favorite. Like that's another quick video that we do annually.
And we still haven't seen every movie that was nominated as well, so we do want to catch up on that.
Yes, I think for you so far, was it
I'm missing a few. I'm missing Anora. I'm missing I'm Still Here, Nickel Boy, as well as just some other ones. The Apprentice is another one. So The Real Pain, I hear really good stuff about that.
Yeah, A Real Pain, aka an auto or a biopic about the Academy.
Yeah.
So yeah, so
And you're missing some too.
yes, I am.
Yeah.
So like I'm Still Here, I haven't seen The Brutalist, and Nickel Boys are the ones for Best Picture that I have yet to see.
Yes.
But yeah, with that, let's go into it. But before we go into the dirty,
Oh gosh.
let's talk about what we liked about all these nominations.
Okay, there is some good stuff to say too.
Yes.
It's not awful, all of it. I think a category that I look at a lot is the actor in a leading role. I think all these guys very much deserve it. It's a good list. Adrian Brody, The Brutalist, Timothée Chalamet, A Complete Unknown, Coleman Domingo, Sing Sing, Ralph Fiennes and Conclave, and Sebastian Stan for The Apprentice. I think this is a really good listing. It's kind of who I expected, but some people I didn't, so I would have to say this is a good category in my head.
Yeah, and it's interesting now, especially because of the whole AI controversy, The Brutalist,
Oh, yeah.
and which you guys can hear more about with Annmarie's little YouTube short there. But yeah, I haven't seen it. You have, and you said, I believe, that the AI you couldn't really.
I couldn't.
Yeah.
I really couldn't. And I went in. I went in being like, okay, I know this is a long movie, but I really want to go in because it's something that is different and unique. And I think Adrian Brody is awesome, and Felicity Jones as well. And I went in thinking, I'm gonna keep my eye out for this because as an editor, that's just something that really interests me. And I couldn't tell. I really couldn't tell at all.
So would you say it's kind of? I've heard this in someone else talking about it, and they were saying like, hey, would this be the equivalence of, say, someone using color grading with cinematography, and because someone is changing the original shot that the cinematographer put together by default, is that kind of like them assisting them, and would that fault that shot or like cinematography effort from the cinematographer? So it's kind of like a similar argument with this AI thing where it's like, yeah, if it's just to enhance what's already there, and even then subtly, is it like worth faulting it for that?
I haven't heard that take. That's super interesting. And thinking about it, I want to say no. Because I think I'm a big proponent for AI. I really think AI is such a helpful tool if you know how to use it. And I think they use it in the Brutalist super well. So I'm going to say no, but I understand that it is a slippery slope because when do we start using AI to overwrite? So this is such a deeper issue. But for the Brutalist, I don't think they should be penalized for it.
Right. And since he won the Golden Globe, I mean, we talked about how the Golden Globes are, they're significantly different than the Oscars and their voting and like nominations and all that and their silly categorization. But sometimes there is that little coinciding where they do pan out to be the same thing for, like Best Picture or what have you. So do you think that Adrian Brody after that was the front runner, but then after that AI news, it drops him down quite a bit?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, well, like publicly, yeah. I'll be honest, for a lot of these, I cannot call a winner. And that's super surprising this year. I feel like a lot of years I could be like, I called Coda from the very beginning. You remember that? I was like, Coda's going to win. I called Green Book from the very beginning. I called, certain people. This year, I can't call it for much. So but I do think Adrian Brody did slip down a little bit more because of that, which sucks because it was just an editor that was talking and did an interview and it ruined everything. Like it blew up in their faces. So.
Could you imagine you're like working on a building or something or like a little piece of carpentry and you're like, I used this saw to make this a little shorter, and someone's like, oh, I can't use that table now. Are you kidding me?
It really does suck, but I know in the past so many, like, this isn't the first case of AI being used.
Yeah, no.
People have been faulted for it, so it would really suck, but I still think it's good, guys. I still think we're okay.
Yeah, that's not an apples to apples comparison I did there with the table.
Is there any good things this year that you wanted to call out before we dive into the...
Yeah, dive into the deep depths of the, I won't even say it. But yeah, so I have to say, I really like the Substance getting a lot more, nods this year. A lot more like horror nods this year between the Substance and Nosferatu, whether it be for lead actress for Demi Moore, who may go the Jamie Lee Curtis route and end up winning, Best Actress, or, Nosferatu with... I was expecting Nosferatu to be nominated for like production design and costume and makeup. The one that I was really happy about that it got was cinematography.
Yes, I was just pulling that up. I'm shocked it got cinematography, but like very happy for it too. I thought it was going to be one of the ones that kind of got pushed to the side a little bit. So
yeah, and if you watch the movie, it has some of the best cinematography out there. I was really hoping that it would also be nominated for editing.
yeah.
Because there's some like transitions in there that I'm like, wow, that you can hardly tell it was a transition, and it was like a perfect... It's a blend of the cinematography and editing, them pairing nicely with each other, and complementing each other's work. But I guess at the end of the day, if you had to pick one over the other of what really caused that success, it probably would be the cinematography. So good for Nosferatu for getting 4 Academy nominations. So good on them. The Substance, I was not expecting them to get a Best Director nod. Or I'm sorry, not Best Director, but
Best Picture?
yep. Well, I guess by result, by default, Best Director typically leads into Best Picture. But in my mind, I'm watching that movie and it's great. The direction is impeccable. It's wonderful. It reminds me of like a modern day Kubrick, and I'm not really the biggest fan of body horror, which is ironic because I love the Alien movies. But the Substance, it got me like putting my hand up to my face like, ooh,
Yeah.
uppy.
Oh man, it's a great movie.
Oh, absolutely. So, I'm so happy to see that movie like that was, I believe, snubbed by Universal, like, and went to a different company and then was eventually made, like something like that. It's a feel-good underdog story
Yeah.
of the Substance. So I was happy to see that. On top of that, even though I haven't seen the movie, it warmed my heart to see Wallace and Gromit get nomination for Best Animated Feature.
Oh,
Like, I mean, just Wallace and Gromit. It's Aardman Studios. We love
Yeah.
Aardman, like Chicken Run and all them. I mean, they're wonderful. Everything they do, it warms your heart. It feels like you're in a cottage eating some nice hot like oatmeal. I don't know, like or pork. I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever you like in a good warm cottage during a cold winter. That's Wallace and Gromit.
honestly, there were some great animation films this year that I'm super happy about that got nominated, and so yeah. Great.
Yeah. I'm sure there's other positives that are out there, but Annmarie,
The bad, the
I-
ugly.
I think we've talked a little too long of our little positivity here.
Where do you want to start with the negativity? Where there's a couple that we
No.
got to start with.
Let's start with the obvious. So there's a movie that came out that we saw, and honestly, for the most part, both enjoyed.
Yeah.
We saw it at the Chicago Film Festival.
Mhm.
Emilia Pérez.
So I know the discourse around here. People are very upset with the director and how it represents. I still think this is not an awful movie. And I'm surprised by people not liking it. I honestly didn't think it was that bad. I like the music. I think Carla and Zoe both deserve their Oscar nominations here. But I also can sit back and be like, why in the hell did it get as many nominations as Oppenheimer?
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I'm, for the most part, in the same camp as you. Like, I enjoyed Emilia Pérez quite a bit, a lot more than I thought I would. And I think there's so much unnecessary hate out there for it. But, I mean, again, to each your own. Every film's subjective. And maybe you see something I don't, and vice versa. But as good as I think this movie is, it does not deserve as many nominations as it got.
No,
I mean,
it shouldn't get Best Director. I don't even think it should get a Best Picture nom.
yeah, and I think it was also in there for like best cinematography.
Yeah, cinematography as well I got, which is insane.
And just like all this other stuff. What else is there?
Oh,
Yeah, we're kind of like scrolling through our
we
list
didn't have
here.
it all right. Film editing as well.
Yeah, film editing.
I don't get it.
That like there's just so many things where it's like, yes, it's a great movie, but why that? You know, there's so many other movies that came out this year that deserve that spot. Like, and we all know the big one for best directing that deserves that slot more than any of those movies.
Get into it. We'll get into it.
Well, yeah, we'll get into our little Dune Part 2 rant. But like, just wow, how
Do you think it's recency bias? Because Emilia Pérez came out on Netflix in November.
No, I don't, because there's still movies that came out towards the end that aren't in the best director category. The Substance also came out like towards more of the middle of the year.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's hard to say, but at the same time, it's like a lot of these members are given, like for awards shows, they're given you know, screeners and all that to review.
Mhm.
So it's like if they haven't seen it early on, they can, you know, watch it now as a refresher.
Yeah.
So Doom Part 2
Oh.
just really should have been that spot. There's no reason for it. And we'll get into it more.
Yeah.
Because believe me, I'm looking at Marie and she's holding it in. It's breaking through my cracks right now. But another one that deserves to be on there is Conclave for best direction.
Okay. All right.
And you know, because I thought that was going to be like the best picture front runner. If it wasn't going to be Dune Part 2, then Conclave was going to be the next one. And it's not on there.
No. And again, going back to the best director, I haven't seen Anora, so I don't know about that stuff. I'm shocked a complete unknown is on there. I really am. For best directing, I agree. I think Conclave definitely deserves a spot. I also think Challengers deserves a spot on Best Directing too. They did our boy Luca dirty.
Yeah, I mean, I think they did Challengers even dirtier with the lack of not being on the best score.
Yeah.
Like, how do you avoid that? It had one of the best. I mean, we already talked about Hans Zimmer and the disservice they did to him. Like, after the previous year nominating John Williams' Dial of Destiny score for Indiana Jones, which uses so much music from the previous films, and yet Dune Part 2, which I'm pretty sure uses less music from its predecessor than, you know, than what they're currently using in that movie. Like, how does that one get disqualified and Indiana Jones doesn't?
I don't know. I
So now you have this whole thing of like that's already the thing that kind of does disservice to this whole nomination sequence, and situation. But at the same time, now it's even worse because there's one that everyone universally loved, like on a commercial level and on a like just an artistic level too, with Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross's score for Challengers. You go to that thing, you put it on at a party, you could put it on working out, you could put it on like when you're, watching an intense movie scene. Like, it's just such a great score. And you heard it everywhere.
yeah, it's so disappointing. Again, I really do think it's recency bias. It really sucks that Challengers came out in March. I feel like if it came out in October, November, December, and I wonder if movie studios are going to look back at this season of the Oscars and say, you know what, this is a good Oscar contender. We're going to push the release date to one of the last 4 months of the year.
That's ridiculous. Like, that recency bias even has to be a factor.
Yeah.
Because if that's the case, why have the awards show be for that whole year if you're only going to focus on that last half? That does such a disservice to not only those movies, but the movie community as a whole, because it changes when you need to release your movie, and what quality of movies people get at a certain point of year, and like how much effort is put into certain movies based on their release date, or who goes to see these movies when they know they're not going to be nominated for anything, if that's a big important factor to them because it came out in a certain point of the year.
Yeah. And I think it also just like puts a lot of pressure because movie studios may be like, oh, like the movie might be like, I need till March. And they're like, nope, you have till October to make this movie come out. And I just think we're going to get lesser quality movies if we're being pushed to certain months of the year. So
yeah. Also, another disservice they've done during this nomination process. Where's Craven?
Where is it?
I've been craving some Craven.
I'm craving some Craven. You know what? You're absolutely right.
I do want to kind of go back and circle back to a positive aspect, though, that you did kind of remind me of. Anora being nominated for Best Picture, Best Director, Best Editing as well.
And leading actress, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
And Sean Baker is nominated for, like himself, he was the editor, he was the director, and of course one of the producers on it too. I mean, like, Sean Baker, absolute props to you, man. You killed it in this movie, directing the crap out of it, and it shows not only through the, Mickey Madison, right? Mikey or Mickey?
I believe it's Mickey.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mickey Madison's performance, which she shines so brilliantly. And then Yuri, something for his, yeah. No, that's, oh
sorry.
no. Oh no. Oh yeah, Yura Borisov.
Sorry, we pronounced your name wrong.
But Yura Borisov was such a dark horse in this run. Like, I was not expecting any other supporting actor or like any other nomination acting wise for this movie to be nominated until I saw that movie. He, not only in the movie is he a dark horse, but like just generally that he gives such a great performance here that I think there's a really strong chance he could win.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of hope he does. I don't know. We'll have to see. Like, there's such intense competition with that one. You even have a succession battle specifically going on between Kieran Culkin and Jeremy Strong. I love that.
It's a movie I'm super excited to see. Mickey Madison is getting so much hype right now. I kind of feel bad because I'll be honest, I'm putting my money down. Actress in the leading role is going to Demi Moore. I'm putting my money down right now. And it sucks that she's in the same category with her because Mickey Madison is coming up, and I wouldn't be shocked if she gets an Oscar a few years down the road too. So
Yeah, absolutely. And so, yeah, you definitely. I would say okay, I know we always watch our best picture, nominees before we make it to the Oscars.
Yeah.
But I say if you, for some reason, can't and need to prioritize, definitely watch Nora.
Yeah, I got it. I'm gonna watch it.
Do it. But yeah, it's brilliant, Sean Baker again. Shout out to you, man. You did such a phenomenal job, and we hope you win as much as this movie shows you deserve. So,
Another thing, this isn't really on the positive, but maybe it is because you people will probably love this. If I'm wrong about Wicked, I will eat the biggest slice of humble pie. You will get an Annmarie the next day apologizing to you all. But I'm letting you all know now. I only think there's one category that Wicked stands a chance of winning. And that's Ariana Grande.
really?
Yeah, I'm going to be dead serious. I don't think Wicked will win Best Picture. Again, I don't think Cynthia Erivo is going to win this year. She'll win next year, guys. Don't worry. Calm down. If she gets a good performance, she'll win next year. I honestly think the only... of the main 7, excuse me. I know Wicked is up for other awards, but in my head, I'm thinking of the main 7. I honestly think Ariana Grande is the best chance.
Yeah, let's look at these again. So Monica Barbaro for A Complete Unknown, Ariana Grande, Wicked, Felicity Jones in Brutalist, Isabella Rossellini in Conclave, and Zoe Saldana in Emilia Pérez. And so I would say you have a strong chance of
Eating my humble pie?
Well, I mean, with Wicked winning Ariana Grande, like, I mean, is that what you're saying is if that one wins?
I think that's the only chance Wicked stands to get an Oscar.
Okay, so if they win Best Picture, that's when you eat your humble
Oh,
pie.
I will be eating the biggest humble pie, but
Okay.
it's not going to win Best Picture.
But this one, though, you're just saying if it does, this one, no humble pie today, maybe another time.
I'm calling my shot in the dark. It's going to be Ariana Grande for Wicked.
Okay.
And I think, honestly, like, I would prefer that the most. I think Ariana is better than Cynthia in the movie. I don't know if that's a hot take, but for me, personally, I felt like it was Ariana's movie, so...
Yeah, I mean, I think both of them did phenomenally. It's hard for me to, because I keep switching in my head which one did the better job, but again, comparison is the death of joy.
Yes.
So
I will say Monica is my sleeper pick, though. I really liked her, and Felicity Jones was amazing in The Brutalist, too. So it's a tough battle.
And Isabella Rossellini, like, while she's in the movie for only such a very, very small time, what a performance. But yeah, that one is gonna come close. But who knows? Maybe Zoe Saldana will win for Emilia
People will
Pérez.
have an uproar if she wins.
It might just take everything. I don't know. 13 nominations, man. 13 mother fooping nominations we got going for that
Oh,
movie.
man. Well, you know what? Hopefully they don't do everything everywhere all at one sweep. Let's just say that.
But that was deserving.
That I know. I think Ariana's the best bet for Wicked. I really do.
Yeah, okay, I agree with you on that.
Okay, thank God. Please don't yell at me.
Like, between that, especially since Wicked wasn't nominated for Best Director.
Yeah, very shocked. I really like the director. He did Crazy Rich Asians, one of my favorite movies.
And then also giving it that old Hollywood style while blending and making it feel brand new. I mean, That's such a significant feat. Gosh, there's so many best director. You know, honestly, at this point, since best director goes hand in hand with not always, but
Most of the time.
more often than not, best director goes hand in hand with best motion picture. Why not just have 10 best director?
That's too much, Ethan.
No, it ain't.
No, listen, I stand by that there should only be 5 best pictures because let's be honest, half of these movies won't win in best picture category. They only added it because The Dark Knight should have been nominated back in, when did that come out? 2008?
Yeah.
Yeah, 2008.
I mean,
It's fun though when it's 10. I won't lie to you.
Exactly. So it's like if you're gonna go that route, just balance it out. You know, I mean, nothing wrong with that. Everyone's happy. More nominations.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, you're still, just filtering out to get the best one.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And I think it's only a handful of times where best director, best picture have been separate. I think it's only, I gotta do my research on that. I'll get back.
I think happened a few times. And by I mean few, like very few.
Yeah.
Like 2 or 3.
Oh, it happened in the last couple of years. I know that. So.
Yeah. So I mean, we'll have to see how that one unravels. But you know what? Are you surprised, by the way, kind of going back to what wasn't on the nomination list?
Mm-hmm.
Transformers 1 not being an animated picture.
Oh, I know. It's so sad. Yes and no. I don't think it would have stand a chance of winning. I believe that's going to the Wild Robot. And so it is disappointing because I think it was one of my favorite films of the year. And so, but I understand, it not getting it. So.
Yeah, I guess they just picked, in your case, the wrong robots.
They did.
Yeah, but I was happy to see Memoir of a Snail on there. That was nice.
That was a nice one. Nice little sprinkle of happiness in the sadness.
Yeah. Do you think Memoir of a Snail has a...
No.
No?
No.
I mean, I'm pretty certain it's going to be either Flow or Wild Robot.
Yeah.
But it'd be kind of nice to see Memoir of a Snail, be a little dark horse there.
You never know. We all didn't know about Moonlight.
Yeah, because I don't know, it's just such a cute, small, but also very passionately made, dark, humorous type of movie. And that contrasts with its art style quite a bit. That, I don't know, it would make me feel really nice if that one won. But yeah, I mean, I haven't seen Wild Robot yet, so I can't say.
Oh, you haven't?
No, I know.
I've seen it. It was good.
I know. But I gotta get on that
Yeah.
along with these other ones. But okay,
Well.
since we'll be going into our prediction ones down the road as we get closer to Oscar Day, Annmarie, right now though, for just Best Picture,
Ooh. Okay.
what would you say is your favorite? We won't talk
Our
any other.
favorite?
Yes.
Oh, Dune Part 2.
To win?
Oh,
Your favorite to win?
I have, and I was going to let this go off a little bit when I went off about Denis Villeneuve, but I'll say it now. I think Dune Part 2, after all these nominations come out, actually has a better chance of winning Best Picture now than I did before. And I think it's because the Academy really, really up. And I think Dune Part 2 stands a better chance now because I think they're going to want to buy back some goodwill. I don't know. I know that's very politicky, but I would love for Dune Part 2 to win. But realistically, I do think it's going to be The Brutalist or Conclave.
Yeah, I mean, which would be still incredible for Conclave since
Amazing.
it's not nominated for Best Director. But yeah, I'd kind of was of the same mindset a little bit where while it's not nominated for Best Director, Dune Part 2 has one of the strongest chances I've seen of a movie that has not been nominated for Best Director that could win Best Picture. Mm-hmm. Whether it's because they realized how much they goofed up by not nominating Denis Villeneuve or not. I don't know. We'll have to see, but It has a very strong chance.
Yeah. Is
But
there any other ones?
you know what? No, I think A Complete Unknown. The thing about A Complete Unknown, it's a great movie. I think it's brilliant. I really don't think it's as good as a lot of the other movies that could have been on for Best Director. Again, nothing against James Mangold. He's brilliant, and this movie is brilliant. But like, come on, guys. Dune Part 2 should have been on there for Timothée Chalamet's role as Paul Atreides. Should have been on there for, Best Director. It's just, they want to go with what they think the Academy feels safe with, and apparently they were right to do that. The Academy proved them right, and I hate that.
Yeah.
But again, A Complete Unknown, great, just not as good as a lot of these other ones that could have been on the list.
Yeah.
But without further ado, Annmarie, I think it's time for a little Denis Villeneuve new ranting.
It's time.
Yes.
F you, Academy. F you so much right now. You know you messed up so bad. Denis Villeneuve put a movie out on the same stage as Lord of the Rings. And Lord of the Rings got so many nominations, and you screwed him over. I'm sorry. This is like, you know how Ben Affleck didn't get nominated for directing? This is like 10 times worse. I can't believe you did this. I'm so ashamed. And I don't know. I don't know if it's recency bias. I don't know. But I hope Denis Villeneuve comes back, makes Dune Messiah, and gives the biggest middle finger to the Academy and wins all the awards in 2026 when Dune Messiah comes out.
3 things.
Bring it.
3 things right there. 1, I like how you said F you 3 times when you had just dropped the F-bomb.
I know.
Previously.
I know.
Reverse censorship is fun.
Sorry.
2, I'm actually, while I am intensely mad about Denis Villeneuve not getting Best Director again, I'm actually even more shocked about a different nomination that Dune Part 2 didn't get.
What?
Best Adapted Screenplay.
Oh, yeah.
Because I watched Dune Part 2. I watched both Dune movies before reading the book. I read that book afterwards. I'm like, how did he come up, translate this to that and make it better than the source material while also conveying so passionately, so beautifully the main intent of Frank Herbert and what he was trying to get across with his original amazing novel. How one could not do, even David Lynch's Dune.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace, David Lynch. We love you. Not one of his best movies, but still enjoyable to a point. But it doesn't really get Herbert's message across. And here, what Denis Villeneuve accomplished is, like you were saying, similar to Lord of the Rings, where they take that author's source material without the author being alive for it and just turn it into truly breathing life. And whenever Denis talks about it in interviews, it's like his breath, as it comes out of his mouth while he's talking, is so excited, so happy, so his heart is there and passionately bringing it to life, even just by talking about it alone. And how it complements what he actually did with his hands, the carpentry work he has done. I mean, that's...
You tear up.
He is a master, and this was his magnum opus. I mean, I hope he even magnum some more opus on top of it. I would love to see that. But my gosh, the fact that he did the perfect translation in art from brain to screen is one of the most difficult languages to convert and translate. This man translated it like a professor.
Yeah.
How he has not been nominated, or how like this Best Adapted Screenplay has no hint of Dune Part 2 on it is nothing short of inexcusable, horrendous, and just baffling.
It, man, it like makes me tear up even thinking about it, because you know how much Dune means to Denis Villeneuve. He's talked about it. He wanted, he drew like scenes for it when he was in high school. Like, that's insane. And I am grateful for the nominations it did get, and I hope it sweeps the floor with those nominations. But how dare you take away something from Denis? Like, really, I feel horrible. I don't understand where the Academy is coming from. And I know the rumor mill that's going on. I've heard that people are shocked that he didn't get nominated. Like, he was a for sure winner. I wasn't confident that Dune Part 2, like, if we take it back, I was not confident that Dune Part 2 was going to win Best Picture, but I was damn sure confident it was going to win Best Director. And it just, I don't get it. It really put such a sour taste in my mouth for the Academy. And I get it. Like, screw the Academy. It really doesn't matter in the end. Like, it really doesn't. But, like, Denis really lost out.
Yeah, Denis, Hans Zimmer.
Yeah.
Like,
oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous. But that brings me back to the third thing that I was going to say, because I was like 3 things. I only listed 2. The third thing is going off what you were saying with Dune Messiah and that upcoming film. Wouldn't it be crazy that, and also, again, just more of a perfect translation of what Herbert was trying to get across, where the audience didn't really understand or misconceive the first the first book as like, oh, Paul is the hero. And then Frank Herbert's like, hold up a minute. Writes a second book just to confirm the exact opposite.
Yeah.
And really nail that hammer on the head quite a bit. Wouldn't it be crazy if Denis Villeneuve pulled off the same thing and then just like did with Dune Messiah and just like saying, hey, you were wrong. You perceived this wrong.
Well, if you think Dune's not adaptable, Dune Messiah's not adaptable. But, I trust Denis with a full heart. I hope he goes full on villain mode. I really can't wait for Dune Messiah to come out and for him to, like, you think, like, Dune Messiah is now going to come out in October for sure. Like, Denis not going to miss the chance to miss another Oscar.
Yeah, and you want to hear a little conspiracy?
Yes, that's pretty good.
There is no, basis for this whatsoever.
I love it.
But what if the Academy was against Denis because of his advocacy for Hans Zimmer not being on there? Because he was really talking about that leading up to the voting of, hey, like, I think we're going to try to appeal this. They really screwed up here, and was really advocating against, like, as most of us were trying to do. But when you're that high stature and being that public about it, do you think that hurt him by doing that? And like the Academy members be like, someone's speaking out against us?
It could have. Honestly, I think it could have, which is unfortunate. But because they screwed him too. They screwed everyone a part of Dune. Like, it's awful.
Yeah, I thought Harvey Weinstein was the only one screwing people in the industry.
I'm using that as the opening. I just can't believe it. It really does break my heart. But you know what? Again, my conspiracy theory is gonna win Best Picture now. So we'll have to see. But again, F you, Academy. You're so mean.
And F is the letter of the day. But yeah, also in the midst of this intensity of I thought we were gonna leave it up for our final rant with Dune here,
Yeah.
but I forgot we didn't talk about the lack of Saturday night.
Yes! Shocked.
You know what? If there were to be a movie that would be taken off and I would replace it with Saturday night, it would probably be A Complete Unknown. That's probably the one I would take off and put a Saturday night on there.
I like Saturday Night. I really thought it had something in there. So, but I 100% agree. I don't think A Complete Unknown should be getting as many nominations as it should be.
Yeah.
So.
It's almost similar to an Emilia Pérez situation. I mean, not to the same extent because A Complete Unknown is a better movie, but it does not deserve as much hype as it is received. And in regards to awards, at least, and what we consider to be the best of the best. So I don't know. It's again, comparison is the death of happiness,
Yeah.
and award ceremonies are exactly that.
Do you think Timothée Chalamet, if he wins for Complete Unknowns, he goes up on stage, he holds the Oscar, and he raises it in the air, and he goes, "For Denis, Lisa Algib."
Long live the Denis fighters. The Villeneuve fighters. You know what? If he did that, then,
Respect.
he has my heart. Not in the Elon Musk way.
Oh, gosh. No.
But anyway, guys, without causing any more controversy, what did you guys think of the nominations? Are you guys excited for the Oscars? Do you have your list of who's to win, who will win, who are the dark horses, who you absolutely despise because they're on there, who you absolutely are giving more love to because they're not on there? Are you going to watch any of these movies now that they're on the list and you had no urgency to watch them before? Whatever you're thinking, let us know your takes on our tapes in those comments down below. And with that, Annmarie, I think it's time for us to calm down, maybe take some NyQuil and fall asleep and calm down and maybe wake up by March. Was it 2nd, 3rd? Does time or anything even matter with these nominations?
It's only been 1 week? Oh, no.
Well, we hope you haven't ejected thus far into the podcast, but whether you have or haven't, please don't forget to rewind. I've been Ethan.
I'm Annmarie.
Goodbye.
Bye.